come to the front of your mat. Look down, lift all 10 toes, spreading the toes wide like Don King's hair. And over time, those toes will spread more and get a little more fluid. But just do your best here to get some nice action. Then place the toe pads down on the floor again. And look down, notice if your ankles are kind of winging in or out too much, and if the soles of the feet are uneven on the ground. So we have 4 balancing points that I want you to think about. 2 on the base of the heel, left and right, and 2 on the ball of the foot, left and right. So under the toe mound and under the pinky toe mound, big toe mound, pinky toe, and heel. So you don't want to be rolling to the outside edges of your feet only or the inside too much. That means your arches and ankles will tend to strain or even collapse. So we want to keep the toes lifted sometimes to pull the arches up. So if you tend to have flat arches, your ankles will most likely be kind of collapsing inward. So lift your toes, reset your alignment and weight to the outer edges of your feet as well as the inner edges, and see that make a difference in your practice. So sometimes in your standing poses, just lift your toes and watch the arches get built. That's good. But right now, let's keep the arches lifting so you can think of pulling energy up through the center of your feet into the leg bones, letting the muscles help lift the legs into the hips, rolling that tailbone down and activating the navel at center. So we're going to stabilize the feet and ankles here, and that means some holds in some balancing poses. So do your best while you're balancing to kind of root your attention down into your feet and your ankles to see where they are in space, where they ground down, where they lift, and try to keep them at center. All right, so we're going to begin here in our chair pose. So walk your feet together, bend the knees, and press the knees in. Okay, lift all 10 toes so you really lift the arches and stabilize around the ankles. Draw your arms straight up, so from the root of the feet lifting you, you can really reach into this pose. You're going to take a very deep breath in, and on your exhale, bring the hands to the heart at Namaste. You may want to hold some of these poses longer than I'm doing here, but this will give you a good idea of a sequence to try. And press pause at any time and breathe in them. All right, I'm going to turn, you stay where you are. So at the front of your mat here in chair pose, lifting all 10 toes. Slowly spread the toes and place them back down on the mat. Lift your right knee into your chest and balance there for a little bit on your left leg. So you want to take deep breaths in and out through the nose. Good. Take a deep inhale here. Begin to extend the right leg straight back behind you and plant the foot on the mat into a lunge. Now, you can place your hands on your front knee and take a look at that back heel. It might want to overstretch behind you, but I want you to pull the heel forward over the ball of the foot and then press straight down into the ball of the foot. You'll see that light up your back leg, so really press down, activate the leg. And front leg is bent, no farther forward than the heel ever. But you can lift the toes of that front foot and again spread them wide. So that lifting action just once in a while to lift and spread the toes really helps build the arch and ankle health. So here we'll inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the heart. Back ankle is nice and stable. We're going to lean forward into the front leg and slowly balance forward as you lift the right knee back into the chest. And exhale, place it down, chair or fierce pose, my favorite name. Inhale, reach up. Lift all 10 toes. Spread your fingers and toes wide. Place the toes back down. Bring the hands to the heart at Namaste. Lift your left knee into the chest. Balance here, breathing. So notice if your right knee and foot are winging out or in, try to keep the knee in the same direction as the toes. Try to keep the big toe mound and inner heel planting as much as the pinky toe and outer heel. And then very slowly, using your navel to help lift you, take that slow balancing journey back to a low lunge. And then pull that heel forward, pressing straight down from heel to ball of foot Not only stretching the toes nicely, but powering up that back thigh. Ground into the pose. Take a deep breath in. Reach up. Exhaling, breathe. You might try lifting the front toes again, spreading them wide and placing them back down. Take a very deep breath in here. Exhale, bring the hands back to center of the heart. Lean forward and take the slow balance forward, lifting left knee into your chest and placing it down, fierce pose. So obviously not only strengthening for the ankles, but the whole lower body. Inhale, reach up. On your exhale, sit down a little bit lower, but lift your heels. So this is a great pose to hold, to really help stabilize feet and ankles. So hold as long as you wish. We're going to move on now. We're going to inhale, lift slowly up to stand, lifting your heels. This should feel both good and challenging at the same time. Watch and try to hug the muscles around your ankles, around your knees, and really ground the balls of your feet equally. Inhale, stretch up through the spine. Fold at the hip creases, keeping the heels lifted. Begin to reach forward, navel in. Slowly, and you can bend the knees here if needed to catch the floor. Plant your fingertips on the floor and bow into a heel lifted forward bend. You're going to take a deep breath in, lift a lot. And on your exhale, slowly place the heels down. Inhale, offer more, and fold a little bit deeper, forward fold. Now just pay attention as you lift all 10 toes again of pulling energy up from the soles of the feet through the legs, really lifting strongly and then pouring that energy down. So we not only want to work the ankles and feet, we want to move the energy from the ankles and feet and get a nice flow going through the whole body so that we unconstrict any old injuries, any instabilities, any energy there that we need to let go of. So breathe here, 3 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Little waves through the spine over these legs. Inhale one last time and exhale down. Good. Bend the knees deeply. We're going to slowly roll up. Come all the way up to stand, reach the sky. So again, just moving that energy. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart at Namaste. So from here, we're going to take the right knee, open it, and bring the right foot high into the inner thigh for tree pose. Now if this is challenging for your balance, that's understandable. I think it took me like 5 years to put the foot this high. But you can always start with your toes on the floor facing out to the right with your knee. And just learn to kind of draw it up into the ankle over time. So now you've got one foot on the floor. And maybe into the shin. You bypass the knee joint. You don't want the foot there ever. Come up a little higher on the inner thigh. Eventually into the groin. But somewhere along that line is great. You just want to press the foot and thigh together. And hug the muscles around the standing ankle, the standing knee. Drawing the navel in and lengthening the tailbone here. So we are like a tree here. We're standing in the root. And you may feel your ankles burning through this series, but I can tell you from experience that feeling actually goes away if you hold this pose long enough. But generally speaking, it's an okay feeling to have. It means you're transforming your muscles and you're fatiguing, so you're going to be building more. If your ankles start to roll all over the place and you're falling all the time, maybe you don't do so much. But breathing here is good. So here in tree pose, we've been here for a while. Maybe you want to lighten it up a little bit by reaching your arms out or up.